Greetings. I really took the idea of making it up to you guys and ran with it, huh? I'm just being reminded of other things as I do uploads. So, this video I would like to cover cat toy safety, which sounds weird, I know. Now, again, I'm not an expert. I am not a pet toy engineer. I am not anything like that, okay? Personal experience and what I've heard. Reviews and things of that nature. Now, that being said, I'm not trying to get canceled for slander or anything. So, think of the most popular, well-known brand for pet supplies. I will give you a hint. It's an orange and white logo, and that's as far as I can go with it. Okay, I want to understand that I'm not personally attacking this company. I'm just sharing the information that I read. I'm not directly faulting them or saying that they're negligent intentionally, but I have seen over the years, in regard to toys, non-edibles, that you would give to your cat that is made by this company, which again, I am not going to just spell it out. You can figure it out. It's a very, very well-known, probably one of the most well-known brands in the country. Even though the brand in question that I'm not naming is the one that was in the proverbial crosshairs, we will say, I apply this to any situation. But apparently there was a lot of reports / complaints regarding this particular well-known company in regard to pet toys. I do not remember if they mentioned dogs at all, because to be honest, I don't mind dogs. I don't have a problem with them. I just don't really pay much attention because I don't have one. So, that being said, there were starting to become a lot of complaints and reports about the toys. It was particularly mentioning the small parts. Yes, I know. So, basically what I have put together based on what I've heard, what I've seen, and what I know, this is a problem with more than one company. I mean, I can't say specifically, but you know, anytime you go into a store, if they have their own generic brand of something, it's going to be that, whatever. But the most complaints I've heard about is with that main well-known orange and white company. Now, that being said, there's been a lot of complaints that the small part issue, I guess what it is when these toys are being manufactured, they're being made and distributed, but they're not putting thought into choking hazards. For example, there's cat toys that have very small pieces on them, like beads. And when these toys, which typically are bought at a dollar store or discount store, therefore they're made very cheaply, when they fall apart, they can present a choking hazard. Now, again, I'm not targeting that one company, but that's the one I hear about the most. Basically what I'm saying is, before you give your pet any kind of toy, any kind of enrichment, make sure you read the directions. Make sure you familiarize yourself on what the toy is for, what it can do, what it can't do, what you're supposed to do, on and on and on. Supervision is always a wonderful thing, but, you know, use common sense. Check the conditions of the toys. When they start getting worn, replace them. Now, on a slightly related note, the reason that I keep bringing up that more known company is because typically this kind of complaint I hear mostly with them, but occasionally across the board with toys. However, I had made an attempt to get what turned out to be an ear mite problem under control with one of my babies that I had before he died. And so what I had done was I went to the grocery store and I bought that well-known brand over the counter for ear mites. I knew it was ear mites because I've dealt with them before. Symptoms are they keep messing with their ears and they keep shaking their head. That's because it's like bothering them. They can hear them in there, I guess. I don't know. And you'll see a lot of dirt in there that's similar to flea dirt. But anyway, he was having these symptoms, so I went to the grocery store and I bought this stuff over the counter. Biggest mistake of my life. Because what ended up happening was I spent like probably about or a little under $20 on this stuff. Followed the directions, make sure I understood them. Administered as directed. 2 days later, here I am on my way to the vet with an appointment and my child because these drops have given him an ear infection. Now, I don't know if it was a reaction unique to my cat or if it was, I don't really know. Because at that point, when I saw that it was starting to affect over-the-counter medications in addition to toys, and there's just more and more and more complaints. So I just want to throw out a buyer beware thing. I am not saying don't use this brand. I am not trying to get the whole village against this brand, okay? All I'm telling you is what I've heard. If that's the brand that you choose to use, that's totally fine. Regardless of brand. Make sure that you examine the toys thoroughly, that you read instructions, warnings, blah, blah, blah. And if you, for any reason, suspect that it could be, I mean, you're looking for small pieces, you're looking for sequins, you're looking for beads, you're looking for little embellishments that could be easily swallowed. Don't give it to them. Just pay very close attention to what any enrichment products or toys. Make sure you know how they work. Make sure, you just educate yourself on the product before you give it to your animal. Because, God forbid, you leave this thing out and then go to work all day. You come home. I mean, I'm not going to say anything like that. But you see where I'm going with that. So, just keep that in mind. And again, I can't stress enough, I'm not attacking that particular brand. I just, every time I try to look at that brand, it's never conducive to my needs. So, just be aware in any situation, regardless of who made it, to double check. And as always, questions, concerns, anything like that, always call your veterinarian. Gauge the situation if it's after hours, because remember, when the answering service calls the doctor, they're calling the doctor from home or to their home. They're at home. They are not working right now. So medical emergencies, absolutely, but otherwise, just hit them up in hours and just put in your inquiries. Be good to each other. Spoil your babies, and have a good day.